Alright guys, we had a little bit of technical difficulty yesterday. We was trying to stream. Welcome to the stream. Like I said, this time we're going to go over Sega Genesis games that start with the letter A. And this is going to be part 1. This will be a little bit longer than some of them there. Genesis at the time was battling Nintendo, and they had a slogan of that Genesis does what Nintendo don't. So we're going to see what Genesis does that Nintendo don't. Even though Nintendo stuff is still around, Sega stuff, they're just making games now. So some of these games are going to be the same. We start off with one on the list that is somewhat the same. It's All Real Monsters again. There's not much to say about this one. It's similar to the Super Nintendo one. There's a few little differences here and there and how the game's laid out, how it plays. I think the Super Nintendo one had maybe had a couple more stages or something like that, but they, as you can tell from looking at them, they pretty much kind of look the same. You only have the 3 buttons now, but kind of the same stuff kind of applies to how the game plays and things of that nature. I don't know how to do scares. I don't know how to team them up. That's the problem. Okay, not sure how to team them up. Tried to hold down buttons. That doesn't work. Okay. Can't try too much of things because the Segas were only 3-button controllers. Maybe you don't team them up. I don't really know. Let's try something here. No? I don't know. Maybe you don't team them up. Well, I'm sure somebody's watching going, oh, I know how to team them up. Okay. Okay, it's up and... No. I thought it was up and jump. Okay. I'm not going to get very far. Well, I don't know. I haven't really found a place where I've had to really team them up yet. Like, a lot anyway. Ah, here it is. Here's the place where you need to team them up. Can you even switch them? I know what pause does. Okay. Okay, holding down and hitting the scare button switches them from person to person. That's kind of odd, but okay, that switches them. Let's try to get back up here. That's a weird mechanic to work with there. You hold up and scare to do different things. Okay, that's weird. Alright. Well, that stacks them up. I don't know how you get them, like, anywhere else. Okay. I don't really know the controls. I'm not really going too much in detail with it because it's basically, like I said, it's basically the same game. Just with maybe a few less stages. We're going to look at Action 52. This was released, I think, for the Nintendo, and maybe a version for the Super Nintendo. This is not really even this is not really even a real game. It's kind of just I don't really know what to explain this. It's 52 games. And most of them are not very good. I'm going to give you a thought process here. If you want to see what some of these games are or anything like that or anything, tune into the Angry Video Game Nerd and watch the one on Action 52 and watch the one on the Cheetah Man, because I'm really not going through that either. Because I know basically what they are and stuff. But each of the games are different. Each of them have different things. Most of them are not very good. So it's just kind of something we're going to go past. Addams Family Values. This is one on the Super Nintendo as well. I'm not real sure what the difference is on this one and the Super Nintendo. You're going to see that we've got a lot of the same games, because quite a few of the same games were for like the Genesis or the Super Nintendo, or just anything else. So, you know, you're going to see a lot of the same games. This one's going to look familiar because it's the same name game under the Super Nintendo. And I didn't really know too much of what to do on that either, so we can kind of skip past that. You can refer to that video for that one. Let's see. Oops. It's showing me Arrow the Acrobat and Arrow the Acrobat 2. You know, for the sake of these videos, I'm not going to show you games that are the same ones. I'm just going to leave it be, unless there's like a major difference or something. Arrow the Acrobat and Arrow the Acrobat 2 are about the same as the ones on the Super Nintendo. So, you know, that's, you know, they're both about the same. Like I said, 3-button controller instead of 6-button, but then again, you could buy a 6-button controller for the Genesis anyway. So they had some of the same stuff. Aerobiz and Aerobiz Supersonic, those are the same games as well. Those are those plane company simulators. So, you know, that's going to be the same stuff. Afterburner 2 is one of the other ones here. And I think it was on the Mega Drive, the Genesis. I think it was on a lot of stuff. And we're going to play the one that says Genesis right here, even though there's 3 different types. This is actually out at the arcade. Afterburner was. I don't know if it was Afterburner 2 or not. But Afterburner was out at the arcade. I'm thinking it was Sega's kind of answer to... Or maybe Sega came out with it first. I think it was Sega's answer to... Top Gun for the NES. I'm not very good at it. I don't know why he's just continuously firing, unless if it was in the options menu. I'm not very good at this game at all because I don't really understand. Unlike Top Gun kind of tells you what you are supposed to be doing. I don't really understand what I'm supposed to be doing in this scenario. So that's a little bit weird. I got to stage 2, obviously. But as you can see, it's a plane simulator, kind of like Top Gun, kind of like some of these other ones. It's not a bad game. It's just something I didn't grow up with and didn't really grow up knowing too much about. So, you know, it's not bad though. Airbuster's the next one. I actually played all the way through Airbuster at one point. And it's your typical side-scrolling shooter. You can set up twin guns that you have on your vehicle, and you can shoot. They do different shooting and things of that nature. Okay, thought the controller froze there for a second. I think you can have 2 players on it. Yeah, you can have 2 players on this game. I don't know if it's simultaneously together or if it's, but you can hold down the A button like this. The bosses are pretty good. The game itself is not a bad game. It's pretty fun, I find. I'll just leave these on here as they are. If you grab up power-ups and these ships shoot beside you, anyway, of course it's like, I think it's one hit, one kill, I think, but I think you have a few lives to go through. You do have to still watch your shots. The best thing to do is, since you have these other ships, just focus on your ship and staying out of the enemy's fire line there. See, now they're shooting on the backside. So that's the best thing to do, is just focus on your ship in the middle and make sure that the bullets do not hit your ship in the middle. Now you can just hold down the button. One of these charges it up and you can release like a charge shot type thing. But the charge gauge has to be refilled, so you don't want to use that too much. And as you see, each of the upgrades do different stuff with the ship itself. There's times on this game where you'll see all kinds of stuff on the screen. It's not in this first stage, but you'll see all kinds of stuff on the screen at one time, and it gets real. It can get real bad. Those are not good either. And some stages have like lightning strikes and stuff that you have to dodge too, so that's not very fun on that end. I'd say this is a boss. Yeah, this is a boss. Oh gosh, I got shot right off the bat. Oh gosh, have mercy. I needed an upgrade. Oh gosh. Normally if you shoot enough parts of it, it'll lose firepower. Anyway, okay, I can still go then. Alrighty. Now if you shoot the top lid up here, you can blow the top off so that it can't shoot you. See, I done crippled this machine pretty bad. It can still shoot rockets, but oh, now it's pretty much broke, or it's close to being broke. See how I disabled almost everything? Yeah, it's like a whole lot easier to take down once you take some of the guns and the other stuff out. Go next phase. And it goes for quite a few stages. They get harder as you go along, but it's a pretty good game if you like shooters. It's not bad. Like I said, it does get harder as it goes along through the game. Some of the stages do get a little bit worse, with crap coming all at you in one big whack there. Air Divers 1, I'm not 100% familiar with. I think I tried to play this and I think I didn't quite understand what I was doing. I didn't want that. Normal control, because I honestly don't know what reverse is. I guess it's up and down and stuff. I guess you pick a place to go to and you go there, I assume. And I guess you sit in the cockpit of said vehicle and that's how you do the mission. I think it's more of a simulator again, like some of these other ones, than an actual flying game and stuff. I'm not good at these. I'll be the first to admit I am not good at these. I am awful at some stuff like this. See, I'm awful. But some of you may like it. I mean, I'm sure it's okay, but I can't play it. Now I'm going to go over Aladdin again, only because this version to me is way superior to the Super Nintendo version. You get a sword, you get the apples. It's better than most of the versions too. Great, it's in Spanish. That's okay. Oh, but that's in English. Okay. Abu bonus level. Genie bonus level. Okay. And it follows the story just like the other one. Plays pretty much like the Super Nintendo one, but this one, the screen flashes when you take a hit. But this one, I don't know, the control seems a lot better, and the way that the game plays just seems a lot better. The graphics seem better on it too, which, like I said, Capcom did as good as they could with what they had, and they turned it into a pretty good game. But this one is the one. This is my first exposure to Aladdin the video game, was this game right here. You want to pick up those big red crystals I was picking up. You also want to have the apples in case you have to throw them. Most of the time you're going to find yourself using your sword maybe as the main weapon of choice. Once again, your life bar is represented by the lamp and the smoke coming out of it in the upper left-hand corner there. Yeah, hold on to that. I hate these knife throwers. Oh wow! It's like wow. The sword makes the game a lot more enjoyable. And either version of this game, the Super Nintendo or this version, can be awfully tough. They are some of the toughest games in existence. And people that have went through them, they can tell you they're tough. They are beatable. They are very beatable. If you get enough of those, like gems that I keep grabbing, if you get enough of those, at the end of the game you get a different ending. So that's why you want to grab those. Plus you can use them at the merchant shop right here to buy different stuff if you need it. We're trying to get to the end of the level because I want to show y'all something. I'm not sure if I showed it to you before. In the second stage, there's a way to earn a collectible of some sort. Now, on this genie game, if you get a Jafar, no matter how many tries you have, you immediately lose. Yeah. Keeps getting faster. See, you immediately lose. Now, if you grabbed an Abu token, you get a bonus level with Abu to where you can't get hit with the barrels that are falling. You can swing the sword if you need to break them, but you're trying to not get hit by them. And sometimes it's a little bit hard to do. And you're trying to pick up other stuff that's dropping on the ground in the scenario as well. Actually, I think those might have been other red. No, that might have been the other game where you picked up the red jewels. These just might buy stuff. Not sure. Now, neat little thing in this stage to begin with. I'll show you how to get something neat here. Just in case I didn't show you before. There's a pair of Mickey Mouse ears. Aladdin will push his head up. If you can get him almost right under it to where he lifts his head up, you get a 1-up. It's a pretty neat little trick there. So, okay, we played through a stage of that. Like I said, it's like the Super Nintendo version, but I like the Sega version a lot better. But hey, give them both a try out and see which one you think that you like, and then play that one. Now we're going to play Alex Kidd and the Enchanted Castle. Alex Kidd was supposed to be the mascot for Sega before Sonic came along. I don't really understand a lot of the stuff in the game. You can go into these buildings and you can You can bet with people and try to get items and things of that nature, and also you can get coins and stuff so that you can buy other stuff later. There's some parts in the stages where you can break these lower blocks down here and you can get through there. And I don't know, this game's, it's not bad, it's just weird. I don't really know what I'm doing on it, honestly, if I'm to be honest. I know this is the end of the level, and there you go, you complete the first level. There's a lot of other stuff though going on. And then here's your inventory where you can use stuff out of it. So there you saw like a motorcycle there. If you have the motorcycle on a stage and you hit something, you lose the motorcycle, but you can still continue on the stage. Same thing with the, I think it's the same thing with the helicopter. You might die if you have the helicopter. Alien 3 is back. The graphics look a little better than the Nintendo and stuff, but it's the same Nintendo game. It's the same every other game besides the Super Nintendo is the only one that has missions. The only thing that's different on this one is it looks better. It looks better, but it still plays like garbage, and it's still garbage. It is still garbage. It is still finding the hostages, rescuing the hostages, and getting to the end of the level in the time frame. And it, like I said, the only thing that's better about this one is the graphics. I mean, because the control is, as you can tell, the control is not much better. I mean, it's a little bit, but it ain't much. Oh gosh, this is a bit hard to control here. Okay, I take fall damage. Alright then. Well, can I not get through the door? Why can't I not get through the door? Is it because he's still alive? Find out. Now let's see if we can get through that door. No. Why not? Did I forget something? Did I not like pick up a key or something I was supposed to get? What the heck? Why can't I get through the door? Did I forget to grab the key from somebody? See, you can't jump back up there. Get my head on it. But I can't jump up there. Oh my gosh, really? Oh yeah, the ducks are real fun. Yeah, see, you don't even see that stuff. So, like I said, the graphics are better, but man, it's still a rough game. Now, Alien Soldier's a weird one because Alien Soldier should be pretty good. I don't really care for it, but some of the rest of you may be like, "Oh yeah, it's pretty good." I just really don't care for it. It's weird for me. You set up your weapons that you want. I'm not really sure how you switch weapons, but you pick them up. Weapon select, shot, jump, shoot mode change, 0 teleport, counter force, hovering, jump. Okay, that shoots. That let me select the weapon. And this jumps. Okay. And then okay. That's the teleport. Okay. counter force is shot shot. No, that's hovering. Oh, okay. Not like I'm gonna remember because the buttons are not the same to me as they are on the screen. As you can tell, it's a fast-paced. I don't know that I'd necessarily call it a scroller, like a side-scrolling platform. I'm not sure I would call it that, but I don't know really what you would. This is where this is frustrating. I don't understand what I'm doing. So therefore, the game is a little bit frustrating to me. Emergency! Yeah, this guy killed me a bunch of times because I really just don't know what to do with him. And then it's game over, and you're dead. You are dead. Yeah. And it said hard level on there. I didn't pick a level, but it really doesn't matter. Like I said, there's gonna be people that's gonna like it, know how to use the weapons and stuff. I don't. And just don't care for it. Next one's Alien Storm. This may have been out in the arcades. I remember this being ported to a few different systems, and it's always a different game, really, kind of. But I've never really had a problem with the game itself. You can play 1 or 2 players. You can pick a girl, the robot, the guy. I like picking the robot because he's got like this whip. And this falls more along the line of a beat 'em up. That's basically what it falls under. I know that's hard to understand looking at it, but that's what it falls under. The control is somewhat to be lacking. The game is good, but the control is somewhat to be lacking. There is some funny stuff on the game that makes that's kind of crazy and things of that nature. Once you get like energy up, you can do like a special move type thing. You can run and do some other stuff while fighting them and things like that. But I'm gonna try to get to the one part of this area, or maybe beat the first stage. This is why I like the robot. I can shoot them on the ground when they're on the ground and shoot. I've played this a few times. I've played it all the way through, and it's not bad. It's interesting. It does take some time to get used to. Now, some of the time you'll go into a stage like this. Now you just hold down. You can you can press the shot button. You're trying to make sure they don't hit you, but you're trying to pick up stuff while you're doing that as well. So it turns into this shooter thing. So you're trying not to let them hit you, whilst trying to shoot everything that you can and pick up everything that you can. And then after a couple minutes, you'll go back to the stage, and you'll keep going through the stage. So, nice little diversion to break up how it goes, and you go back to mission 2. Some stages are auto-scrolling. I think stage 3 is the first auto-scrolling one. So there's quite a bit of variety in the gameplay, especially on the stages. So you really don't get real bored with a whole lot of stuff. You might get a little bit bored later on in the game as it goes. Each of the aliens reacts and attacks a little bit differently. See, that's my special move. I can blow up and lose my head for a half a second, but blow up and do damage. So, but it's a pretty good game. I like it every once in a while, and I might play it every once in a while, and it's not bad. Like I said, it takes some getting used to, but after you get used to it, it's pretty good. Alicia Dragoon. I played this for the first time not too long ago. Don't understand how some of it works, really, honestly. Let me see if I can remember what happens. You have different different helpers that you can summon, like dragons and stuff, and you've got your own attacks and stuff. So you try to make sure that you can sub out different helpers for other different helpers if you see that the one that you've got is not either doing the job or is getting killed, or well, is taking too much damage. The game's a little weird. It's a side-scrolling platformer, and it's kind of weird. If you let your meter go back up, you can use more of your skill, and then you have to kind of wait for it to come back. You can get like level up and things like that, and you can do the same thing for your friend there. There's other ones, but I don't know how to. Yeah. See that switches them. Don't ask what the button was. I'm not sure. I like how it says demo. It says demo to let you know that you're not still in control of the character, so the character's not going to go where you're going to go. All in all, it's not a bad game. You just have to kind of know where you're going and what you're doing, and it's enjoyable at that point. Altered Beast. I know this is a cult classic. I know it's a favorite at the arcade. I don't like the arcade version. I don't like the Mega Drive version. I do not like any version of this game whatsoever. I hate this game. Each level you turn into something different, but you have to grab these 3 power cores. About the only way to get the power cores is to kill these. I think they're these. Yeah, and then you grab these cores. Now, I'm kicking, but you can punch too. Those are your main attacks while you're in human form. Kicking and punching. And you go through the level like your health is down there in the corner, and well, that sucks. I'll power up right here. Power up, and now you look funny because your head's all tiny, but you got this humongous human body that's just, oh, I hate these things up in the air. Now, if I can grab that, for this level I turn into a wolf. Now next level, I forget what it is. It's some kind of other thing. Now if you do a kick in this form, you go flying over. If you punch, you spit out like fireballs that go across the room. So we're going to try to kill this dude with fireballs. You can shoot down the heads he throws. He's not real hard. He might be real tough the first time you fight him. I'm getting my butt kicked, even though I said he wasn't real hard. Yeah, I died. But I get to keep my wolf form, so that's pretty cool. Okay, I'm punching that, and it's not counting. That's bull. So, you kill him. Or at least you think you kill him. He takes your energy away. So you're back down to this guy. So in the next stage, it's 3 of something else that you have to kill to get your level all the way up. And if you guys hear something in the background, that is Chance. He's throwing a fit because I'm doing something and he thinks I'm ignoring him. I'm not ignoring him. No, it's the wolves again. And this time you turn into something else, but I don't know if I can collect all of the things to do that. So we're gonna stop on that one there, and we're gonna go to the next one. Give me just a minute to let them outside there. Okay, sorry about the little diversion on the stream there. I'll probably have to go get them back in here in a bit too. We're going to move on to American Gladiators. And I think this is the same as the Super Nintendo version. Yeah, this is the same as the Super Nintendo version, so we're not really going to look at it. Andre Agassi Tennis is the same as the Super Nintendo. Animaniacs would be the same as the Super Nintendo. Arcade Classics. I think they just put some of them together. Let's see what they put together on Arcade Classics. Like I said, some of these I'm not going to go over because they're Super Nintendo or Nintendo games, and we've went over them once. So if I can think of what we went over, and there's not much change in them, because some of them there's not much change in them. Somebody'd say, oh, well, this one's got more stages or something. But they look almost the exact same. They might have more stages or something, but we're not into that. This has Centipede, Ultra Pong, and Missile Command. And it also has a classic version. Okay, I guess you'd have to do something else to unlock something else. Okay. But, like I said, we know what those are. You know. So we're going to go to the next thing. Arch Rivals I will click on because it looks a little different than the Nintendo game, but it plays about the exact same, and it's just about the same. There are little minor differences in the game, so we won't stay on here for too long. Like I said, I think the teams are about the same. Wow, that's low on a... Yeah, the teams are about the same. They're just a little bit different color, and they're... the color scheme on the jerseys is a little bit better, I think, on this one. Yeah, that's pretty much how that goes. Most of it's not much different. Like I said, the colors are a little bit different, the sprites are a little bit different, and I just fall flat on my face at the beginning of the game. What a great player I am. Pass it. Oh gosh. Oh, that's to try to take the ball. Okay. Alright, Tyrone, you're gonna have to help me out, brother. Don't pass it to me when I want it and I don't need it. This one's a little bit clunky. The controls a little bit clunky. I'd rather play the Nintendo version where it's a little bit more responsive. This one's not real responsive. Well, I don't think it is. Daggone it, man. Oh, Tyrone's against me. Usually Tyrone's my teammate. I think it still is Tyrone's my teammate, but I think Tyrone is my... Yeah, this one's kind of clunky and kind of... Ugh. It looks better, but it doesn't play better. I played around with this Arcus Odyssey the other night, or a few nights ago, and it has a gauntlet-esque feel to it. You can play one person or two players. You pick your character. Each character's got their own different stuff, and you go through these stages, trying to get through the stages as best you can. The only thing that's kind of iffy about it is it's kind of an isometric view, which is not really something I like, but the control seems to do pretty good. It's a little slippery, and you really got to know where you're going or what you're doing. Otherwise, the game the game gets a little bit rough. Like you'd have to know the mazes, where to go and everything, and what to get. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. There's a Little Mermaid. For the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo, it's an entirely different game. We'll go over this on the Mega Drive and on the Game Gear. The Game Gear is the worst out of the three. It controls terribly. There's no map, I don't think. On the Master System, they put the control's still not good, and still not a real good game. This version is probably the best out of the three, and it's not real good either. They give you a map and everything this time, but it's just not real good. Oh my gosh, do I have to sit through all this? I really didn't even want to hear the song to begin with. I press start button. I press start button. And on this one, you can actually play as Ariel or Triton. So if you don't want to play as Ariel, you can play as Triton. And this is basically going around. You can hit start and you can see the map. The glowing dots represent the people that you need to get. You have to get all those people and then exit out of the stage. The control is not that great. And actually, the controller's working against me right now, as it is. You're not timed, but that doesn't make it any. That doesn't make it any better. That it's not timed anyway. So, just tell you that anyway. But the control is really, really bad. This is probably the better version, but you have to do just different stuff that you can do. Like Flounder can push that out the way, but you can only shoot so many like projectiles and stuff like that. So you gotta kind of save those. But you're trying to find everything that you can find and save the people that you need to save and everything else. So, I'd play the Nintendo or the Super Nintendo version before I'd play that one. That one's really bad. Arnold Palmer Tournament Golf. Not a big golf fan myself, so probably won't spend too much time here. I love how the controller's just doing what it wants. Let me just swing. Yeah. Let me just, yeah. There we go. I mean, I got a one wedge going on. I have no idea what to do with this. Oh, there we go. It's in the rough. Yeah, this game's kind of rough. Better golf games out there. Not that one. Unless I guess you knew what you were doing there. Arrow Flash. I'm not sure what this one is. See what it is. It is a side-scrolling space shooter. Alright. Okay, what did I just activate? Oh, is that a power-up? Oh! Whoa! Whoa, definitely not good. Oh, okay, so you get different power-ups. Okay, so that's just a... Oh, you can turn back to a ship or you can turn into a little dude. Oh, okay, that's cool. And then you can do like super stuff. Okay, that's pretty cool. It's just your side-scrolling space shooter, though. That's about all there is to it. I think, yeah, we'll go over Art Alive. We won't get through all of them. This may be the last one I do for this moment. Art Alive, I think, is supposed to be Sega's answer to like Mario Paint. Things of that nature. Boop. You draw a line. I don't know. There's not much there to work with. I don't care for things of that nature. So, let's cut that off right there. We'll go over the games that we've been over and the games that we didn't really look at. We had All Real Monsters, which is the same as the Super Nintendo version, probably with less stages. The buttons work a little differently, but it's kind of the same game. We went over, like I said, Action 52, refer to Angry Video Game Nerd. 2 episodes of, one is the Cheetah Man and one is Action 52. The Addams Family Values looks like the same as the Super Nintendo one. Aero the Acrobat and Aero the Acrobat 2 look the same. Aerobiz and Aerobiz Supersonic look the same. You saw Afterburner. I prefer like Top Gun or one of those other games over Afterburner. I don't really like Afterburner all that well. But that doesn't mean it's a bad game. If I say I don't like a game, it doesn't mean it's a bad game. It just means I don't like it, but you might. Airbuster, in my opinion, is a pretty good side-scrolling shooter. Air Diver is another one of those where it's kind of like Afterburner and it's kind of like Top Gun. Of course, I don't like it, but that don't mean that you won't. The Aladdin on this one, I would play this one or the Super Nintendo version. I wouldn't really touch any of the other ones because the Super Nintendo one is the one that comes closest to the Genesis version, but the Genesis version, in my opinion, is the best version of the game. You won't hear me say that too many times on the Genesis version of certain games. Alex Kidd and the Enchanted Castle, it's pretty fun if you know what you're doing, where you're going. It's a little platform side scroller and it's not too bad. The controls a little bit slippery on it, but not too bad. The Alien 3 on this one it graphically looks better. Controls a tad bit better, but it's still not a good game, but it is better than the Nintendo one and some of the other ones. Alien Soldier, like I said, I don't care for it, but other people may. It's like a side-scrolling platformer, I guess. Alien Storm's kind of like a side-scroller with maybe like a little bit of a beat-em-up thrown in there, along with a rail shooter, and I like it pretty good, and the controls on it are pretty good. It takes a little bit to get used to. Elysia Dragoon, if you know where you're going, what you're doing, and you play around with it quite a bit, it's a little side-scrolling platformer. It's not too bad. Altered Beast, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm sure it's not a bad game. I don't like it. Altered Beast is one of those that you'll either love it or you'll hate it. I don't like any form of the game that I have ever played. I don't like any of them. But there are people that do like the other ones. I would come closer to playing this one or the arcade version out of the ones I've played, though, because those are probably the 2 best ones. American Gladiators is just like the one on the Super Nintendo. Andre Agassi Tennis, same thing. Animaniacs, the same thing. The arcade classics, like I said, there's only 3 games on there this time, but that's okay. Arch Rivals, the control was not as fluid or not as good as the Nintendo, in my opinion. The graphics are better, but the rest of it is not good. Arcus Odyssey gives you a little bit of Gauntlet feel on it, if you know where you're going and stuff like that. The control's pretty good. The game's pretty good itself. If you're going to play The Little Mermaid on one of the Genesis games, don't worry about the Game Gear. Don't worry about the Master System. Play it on the Genesis. That's the best one out of the group. You can play as Ariel or Triton. They actually give you the map. The control's better. It's not great, but it's better than the other ones. The Arnold Palmer Tournament Golf, if I had the buttons in front of me, I'd probably do better, but there's other golf games that I would play other than that. Same thing with the Little Mermaid. I would rather play. I think the Super Nintendo's got a version. I'm pretty sure Nintendo's got a version. I'd play one of those two. Those are both made by Capcom, and they're really good. The other one, I played through the Genesis one. It's not that great. It doesn't get much better. So, that's one of those parts where it's not better than the Super Nintendo or the Nintendo. Arrow Flash is your side-scrolling space shooter again. Not much to say there. Art Alive, it rivals Mario Paint. That's about all I can say about that. I mean, it just rivals Mario Paint. I don't really have much use for it because I didn't really like Mario Paint. So, it's one of those things where I don't use a whole lot of stuff. But if you're into creating your own art and stuff, maybe something that you'd look into. We've got about, let's see, about 10 more games on the Genesis that we're going to look at. And then we're going to go on to the Master System. So we may get those 10 done on the Genesis, and then we may go to the Master System. And depending upon how many we have on the Master System, how quick we get to the Mega Drive. Or not the Mega Drive. Depends upon how quick we get to the Game Gear. Because I'm going to tell y'all, like I said the other day, the Game Gear one and the Master System one are going to be the shortest ones. The Game Boy one is probably going to be a little bit longer than those two. But the main ones are going to be the NES, the Super NES, and the Sega Genesis. Those are going to be the longest ones. And with some of these games, we're going to duplicate. So we're going to cut. And like I said, if the games are the same, we're not going to worry about putting them in the same. We're not going to worry about putting them in the video because some of them are the exact same game. They look the same. They almost play the exact same. Like I said, if there's big differences in them, I will let you know. But most of them are the exact same game. So, but we're going to stop right there, and we'll come back and we'll do the second part of this. That'll probably be the end of that. And we'll see what happens on that. And until next time, we will see you later.